Keanu Reeves has always loved to travel. Despite the conveniences of private jets and luxury cars that were always at his disposal, he sometimes longed for simplicity. At such times, he would get into a regular car, pick a random route on a map, and hit the road. This trip was no exception. Keanu decided to visit the picturesque corners of America that he had often heard about but rarely seen. His path ran through small towns and rural roads, far from the noisy highways. The day was perfect for traveling. The sun gently illuminated the hills, and the air was filled with the scent of fresh grass. Keanu was enjoying the view from the window, listening to his favorite music, and reflecting on life. His car, simple but reliable, was confidently rolling along the road. Everything seemed perfect until he heard a distinctive sound, a sharp, unpleasant crack that interrupted the harmony of the moment. Then the car began to shake, and Keanu realized that something was wrong. He pulled over and got out to inspect the car. The front left tire was cracked, almost completely flat. Keanu ran his hand through his hair, sighing. It was one of those situations that can ruin even the best day. He opened the trunk in search of a jack, but unfortunately, the tool was not there. I must have forgotten to take it, he thought, feeling slightly irritated. The road was small and uncrowded. Only a few cars had passed in the last hour, and they were all in a hurry to go about their business. Keanu waved his hand, trying to stop the drivers, but not a single car stopped. His appearance in plain denim and a baseball cap did not attract attention. The drivers probably took him for an ordinary tourist. Time passed. The sun began to sink to the horizon, and with it came a slight anxiety. What if no one stops? His phone had no signal, and the nearest town was tens of kilometers away. Keanu realized that he might have to walk, but he was not happy about this prospect. That's when he heard the sound of an old engine. A small truck appeared around a bend, beaten down by time but still running. It slowed down and stopped next to him. An elderly man in simple clothes got out of the cab. His face had wrinkles that showed years of hard work. The man looked at the situation with a careful eye and began to help. Bill, as Keanu later recognized him, worked with confidence, as if he had been fixing cars all his life. He quickly got a jack and a set of tools from his truck, replaced the tire, and checked the car's performance. Keanu just watched and helped by handing over the tools. The elderly man said that he had served in the infantry for many years and had to fix vehicles even in the worst conditions. When the work was completed, Bill said that helping others is his principle in life. He said that now he lives modestly, doing small repairs to support himself and help his grandchildren. His words of humanity and support touched Keanu. When Bill drove away, Keanu stood there for a long time, watching the truck disappear around the corner. This meeting left a deep mark on his heart. He realized that the good he had received should not go unnoticed. The road was ahead, but thoughts of Bill now accompanied him every step of the way. A few months passed after that meeting on the road. Keanu's life returned to its usual rhythm: filming, interviews, premieres. However, the image of the elderly man who had unselfishly helped him remained in his mind. In the whirlwind of events, the memory of Bill became a reminder for Keanu of the true humanity he valued above all else. One evening, after a long day at work, Keanu decided to relax in front of the TV. He randomly flipped through the channels until he came across a local news program. The story began with footage of a small workshop where an elderly man was working. Keanu froze. It was Bill. The reporter told him that Bill was known in his town as a handyman. People turned to him whenever they needed something, whether it was to fix a car or to help with household chores. But behind the scenes, his life was more complicated than it seemed. Due to an old injury sustained during his service, Bill's health seriously deteriorated. He needed a complicated and expensive surgery to avoid life-threatening complications. The story described how the community tried to raise funds for his treatment. People organized a charity fair and opened an account for donations. However, the amount raised was still not enough. An interview with Bill appeared on the screen, and he said with dignity but noticeable fatigue that he was grateful for the support of his neighbors and was ready to fight to the end. Keanu looked at the screen with a sense of anxiety. His heart was tightening as he saw this kind and strong man who had helped him without any expectations now needing help himself. He remembered Bill's words that the world would be a better place if people supported each other. Without hesitation, Keanu picked up the phone and started looking for more information about Bill's situation. He found an article that provided details of the fundraiser and the contact of the organizers. Keanu decided that he could not stand aside. He felt it was his turn to return the favor. That evening, Keanu contacted the organizers of the fundraiser. He insisted on remaining anonymous and transferred the necessary amount to cover the cost of the surgery and subsequent rehabilitation. He also added money that could help Bill improve his living conditions. The actor asked only one thing: to tell Bill that it was a gift from a man who was sincerely grateful for his kindness. After the call, Keanu felt relieved. He knew he had done the right thing. Now all he had to do was wait for news of how the story would end. But deep down, he was sure that the good he had returned would bring new opportunities for Bill. A week passed after Keanu made the donation. He returned to his normal routine, but thoughts of Bill did not leave him. From time to time, Keanu would watch the news, hoping to see an update on the veteran's situation. A few days later, he came across an article confirming that the necessary amount for the operation had been raised. Keanu was relieved. He sincerely hoped that this help would change Bill's life for the better. A few weeks after the surgery, the news again showed a story about Bill. Reporters said that the operation was successful, and now the veteran is undergoing rehabilitation. The camera showed Bill standing on the doorstep of his home with a smile on his face. He looked a little tired, but visibly happy. The story also mentioned that someone had made an anonymous donation that fully covered all the expenses. Bill thanked everyone who supported him, especially the unknown benefactor. "I don't know who this person is, but I am sincerely grateful for their help. Their gesture gave me back hope and allowed me to continue fighting for my life. Now I dream of seeing my grandchildren happy again," he said. Keanu watched the story and could not stop smiling. He felt happy that he had done the right thing. However, one thought kept nagging at him. He wanted to see Bill again, not as an actor or a philanthropist, but as a person who had experienced his selfless kindness. A few days later, Keanu decided to act. He called the organizers of the fundraiser, introducing himself as one of the fans of Bill's story. He asked to arrange a meeting with the veteran, explaining that he wanted to personally express his gratitude for the help Bill had given him on the road. The organizers gladly agreed to help. The meeting was scheduled at Bill's workshop, which, as it turned out, had been renovated and equipped with additional funds. Keanu set off on his journey, keeping in mind the image of the man who had once changed his life. When Keanu arrived, Bill met him at the entrance. He recognized Keanu, but even at that moment he showed no surprise or excitement. For Bill, it was just a meeting with someone he had helped once. "It's good to see you, buddy. How's your wheel?" Bill joked with a slight smile. Keanu smiled back and replied, "It's in perfect condition, thanks to you. But I'm here today to thank you for something more." They sat down at a table in the small workshop and began to talk. Keanu didn't tell him that he was the anonymous benefactor. He just listened to Bill's stories, which further revealed the depth of his character. Every word the veteran said was inspiring and reminded Keanu how important it is to be kind in a world that often forgets it. After that meeting in the studio, Keanu thought about Bill for a long time. His simplicity, dignity, and unpretentiousness made a deep impression on the actor. He was a man who knew how to enjoy the little things, despite the difficulties, and found the strength to help others even in difficult circumstances. Keanu realized that he could not stop with his anonymous donation. He felt that he could do more for the person who had become a symbol of humanity for him. One evening, when he returned home, Keanu began to think about a plan. He decided that helping Bill should be more than just financial. Keanu wanted to change his life so that the veteran could not only regain his health, but also enjoy a peaceful and secure life. First of all, Keanu turned to his friends in Hollywood who were involved in charity. He proposed to organize a small charitable foundation to help veterans like Bill. The idea quickly found support. Within a few days, Keanu secured financial support from colleagues and partners. The foundation was to become not only a source of financial support, but also a platform for sharing stories of people like Bill who could inspire others. Keanu also decided to renovate Bill's workshop. He hired a team of craftsmen to modernize the equipment, make repairs, and install new appliances. Keanu also arranged for local businesses to provide the shop with a steady stream of customers. This was to provide Bill with not only employment, but also financial independence. Another step was to create a long-term financial plan for Bill. Keanu brought in specialists to open a retirement account for the veteran and taught him how to manage his money so that it would become the basis for a secure life in the future. He also made sure that Bill and his grandchildren receive health insurance that would cover all the necessary expenses. All this work took several months. Keanu kept everything a secret, communicating only with trusted people. He wanted the results of his efforts to be an unexpected gift for Bill, which he did not expect at all. When all the preparations were complete, Keanu decided to visit Bill again. This time, he came not only as a grateful man, but as someone who was ready to make another great gesture. He brought with him the documents that confirmed the opening of the foundation, as well as the keys to the renovated workshop. Bill, who was not expecting anything like this, was amazed. He did not even immediately believe that all these changes had been organized for him. His eyes filled with tears when Keanu explained that it was a way of expressing gratitude for his selfless help on the road. The veteran was so moved that he was at a loss for words, but his look said it all. Keanu stayed with Bill for the whole day, helping him get up to speed with the new equipment and discussing future plans. This day was the beginning of a new chapter in the life of the veteran, who finally got a chance to live without constant worries. Several months have passed since Keanu handed Bill the keys to the renovated workshop and the documents for the charity foundation. The veteran's life has changed dramatically. The workshop was now thriving, attracting customers not only from the immediate area, but also from neighboring towns. Bill became a local legend. People would tell stories about the veteran who once helped a stranger and who, in turn, changed his life. The foundation created by Keanu began to work actively, supporting other veterans who needed help. In honor of Bill, the foundation even introduced the Good Deed program, which encouraged people to talk about their good deeds and receive support for charitable initiatives. Bill himself became the face of this program, telling his story at events and inspiring others. One day, Keanu decided to visit Bill again. The veteran met him at the entrance to the workshop, which was now equipped with modern equipment and decorated with photos telling about different stages of his life. Keanu didn't want to attract much attention, but when they went inside, locals and friends of Bill were already waiting to thank the actor for his kindness. Bill gave a speech that was short but very emotional. He said that the help he had received had given him not only material wealth, but also faith that goodness always finds a way to return. He thanked Keanu for not only changing his life, but also inspiring many others to do good deeds. Keanu, in turn, recalled the day on the road when Bill stopped to help without hesitation. What you did showed me how important even the smallest acts of kindness are. You have changed my life as much as I may have changed yours, he said, addressing Bill. After that day, they remained friends. Keanu would often call Bill, ask about his business, and even come to family dinners. For Keanu, this story was another reminder that humanity and kindness are what gives life meaning. And for Bill, it was the beginning of a new life, in which he not only found peace and confidence, but was able to inspire others. Gradually, Bill and Keanu's story spread far beyond their town. It became a symbol of how goodness can change the world if we are willing to help each other. And everyone who heard this story thought about how important it is to stop and lend a helping hand, even if it seems like a small thing.